change our habits. For the last few years, the problem of climate change resulting, especially from the change of certain meteorological constituents, has been widely talked about. Increase in weather and climatic anomalies has been observed by our parents, grandparents, and us. Record-breaking heat waves, strong winds, violent storms, shorter, snowless, and warmer winters are becoming more and more common. During the last 100 years, air temperature has risen by around 0.8. IPCC 2007 report shows that most of temperature changes observed in recent years have been related to human activities, over 90%. We've been truly moved by the problem of global climate changes. We decided to look up how air temperatures in Europe are changing. We picked 3 schools of the Globe program, from Finland, Germany, and Estonia, which have been conducting air temperature measurements every day for 10 years, and our school.
The aim of our research was to find the answer to the following questions. Are the trends of temperature change similar in the different parts of Europe? Which effects of warming in Europe can be noticed on environmental? Shall we change our habits related to our consumers' lifestyle? Which actions should be undertaken? Our hypothesis. The climate in Europe has been rapidly getting warmer since 1960. The aim of our research was to analyze variability of thermal conditions in given locations in Europe, as well as to evaluate the trend in changes of minimal and maximal air temperature observed in the last 3 decades. The rate of change we have estimated using linear trend.
We searched the Globe website for information and found schools, which in the years 2007 to 2016, on daily basis, carried out and reported measurements of minimum and maximum air temperature. These are Wirtualne in Finland, Gymnasium Ochmur in Hamburg in Germany, Nysie Gymnasium in Estonia, and our school in Nysie in Poland. Using various sources of information, we prepared climate characteristics for each of these places. Wirtualne is a small town in Finland. The climate area is polar, the climate type is subarctic, and the main climate features are warm summers and freezing winters. Using the climatological information for Kuopio, we have calculated the average annual minimum temperature, which is -0.5 degrees Celsius, as well as the average annual maximum temperature, which is 6.7 degrees, for the years 1971 to 2000. Next place, Hamburg, is a city in North Germany. The sea climate is temperate, with softly warm winters and cool summers. Based on the climatological information for Hamburg, we average the annual temperature for the same years, and the minimum annual average is 5.2 and the maximum is 12.7. Nysie is a town in Estonia. The climate area is temperate, the climate type is cold, and the main climate features are maritime, wet, with moderate winters and cool summers. Based on the climatological information for Tartu, we average the annual temperature for the same period. The minimum annual average is 1.7 and the maximum is 9.3. And the last but not least, Nysie is a town in Poland. The climate commune is transitional continental sea, shaped by the air mass flowing in from above the Atlantic Ocean or Eastern Europe and Asia. Based on the climatological information for Wrocław, We average the annual temperature for the same period. The minimum annual average is 4.3 and the maximum annual average is 13.8.
We use data of the daily maximum and minimum air temperature survey for the period 2007-2016 available on visual data for chosen schools. We calculated average annual minimum and maximum temperatures for 2007-2016. Afterwards, we trawled the website Tiempo for average maximum and minimum air temperature for the period 960-2016. For the weather stations located near our schools, UTRV, we choose Oulu. For Hamburg, Hamburg. For Killinginome, Tartu. For Nysie, Opole. After entering the data into the Excel program, we made charts which showed variations of maximum and minimum temperatures for researched locations. Then we drew a trend line from maximum and minimum temperature over a given time interval. We calculated the trend using the temperature values between the beginning and end of the period. Comparison of data shown on presented below charts allowed us to state that in the years 960-2016 there was a strong positive trend of temperature in all the researched locations, referring to both maximum and minimum temperatures. For particular locations, it can be presented as follows.
Oulu. The average maximum temperature has increased by 1.6 degrees and the average minimum temperature by 2 degrees in the years 1960 to 2016. Hamburg. The average maximum temperature has increased by 2.1 degrees and the average minimum temperature by 1.5 degrees. Tartu. The average maximum temperature has increased by 3 degrees and the average minimum temperature by 2.4 degrees. Opole. The average maximum temperature has increased by 2 degrees and the average minimum temperature by 0.4 degrees. Following Excel charts, we drew trend lines for each of these locations for specific decades. The results are shown in table. Taking these results into consideration, we can declare that the following tendency in minimum and maximum temperatures variations has been observed.
Afterwards, we determined temperature changes against the average long-term maximum and minimum temperature calculated over the period of 30 years. On the basis of conducted calculations and data analysis for selected locations and schools from Globe program, we concluded that Europe is experiencing warming of the climate, which is happening faster than global increase in temperatures on our planet. Data comparison from the weather stations and ours from Globe program, introduced on the ground of Integrated Atmosphere Protocol, indicates that our survey is authoritative and can be used to characterize weather phenomena and climatic conditions in the future. It gives us, the students, possibility to confirm their occurrence because they are measurable and verifiable. It is for us a chance to participate in scientific world discovery.
With the listed schools we made contact. We asked for interviews with parents and grandfathers about changing weather phenomena in the last 50 years. This way, we obtained information about the observed changes and effects of global warming in the areas where our colleagues from Globe program live, which are Wirtualne. In Finland we have endemic species called Saimalinge seal. They get their babies in snow cave, and if there is not enough snow, the young ones die in cold. In such a years, when there are very little snow, volunteering people try to push the snow to the hips to make artificial snow home for seal babies. Kilinginom. Winters become milder. Stronger winds and more frequent storms are expected in winters and springs. Nysie. Recently, winter in Poland are getting warmer. They begin later and end quickly. Growing season is longer, birds arrive sooner, snow cover is decreasing. Our grandfathers didn't observe this type of phenomena. Conclusion. Our analysis confirmed that also in Europe global warming is rapidly progressing. We have no doubt concerning the negative changes which occur in natural environment as its result.